Hello, I'm Joseph Rittenhouse. I retired when I was 35 years old. I was a city bus driver and bus driver instructor. I took my money and I purchased single family rental real estate. I also took my money and partnered with other people and purchased apartment complexes. And I live off of the money. I retired when I was 35. I like to share financial education ideas with you, also some lifestyle ideas with you. I'm in Maribor, Slovenia. It's a smaller country off the northeast side of Italy. One of the things that I've been thinking a lot recently is, why am I so weird? Why am I traveling? Why am I always pushing it? Why do I always do weird things? And it's because I got into this habit when I was younger. I found that if I keep poking at the bag, the bucket that we're in, that every once in a while I get lucky and I find some new opportunity, some new opening in the hole, and I find something that I didn't know before, and my life gets better. I spend a lot of my time now just being introspective and looking back at the way I was when I was younger. I'm noticing a relationship between the way that we are now and the way that we were when we were younger. I don't think we become necessarily new people. I think by an early age, as early as 5 or 10 years old, a child's brain is already pretty set on the way it wants to live, the way it wants to learn, and the way it wants to interact with other people. You notice in young children, the way they play, work, clean, communicate with other people. Then you see them get older. A lot of times it's kind of similar. And I think a lot of children are not expressing themselves as completely as they could. The world doesn't, treat children very well, and parents are tired. Parents don't have the time, the energy, the money, resources to really facilitate a child to learn and do the things that they want to do that would be using their brain to their best ability. Mom and dad have to work. The boss is on mom and dad's back. They don't have the time to really help the child develop their specific talents. Then a child goes to school. There's very little specialization at school because the teachers have a lot of pressure from the school district. The teachers want to protect their job. They've got a mortgage payment to pay. The teachers don't have the time, energy, or resources to be teaching each individual children so individually special to help their specific personality and brain develop. So the children miss out on a lot. They grow up and what they could have become gets covered up. Parents shoot down a lot of the dreams and tell you that's not realistic. You can't become a race car driver. Yeah, you could. It's not that hard. Can't fly an airplane. Yeah, you could. It's pretty easy to fly an airplane, but mom and dad don't know, so they just tell you it's not going to work. You go to school, they just, you get your degree, find out you're going to be doing a job that's not really exactly the job you thought you were going to do. So I think the parenting and the schools kind of harm the children. The original talents and abilities of the child, creativity and imagination, get covered up. So now that I'm older, I would say that I'm not becoming a new person. The way I am now, making videos, traveling, riding my bicycle, is not a new thing. It's just me going back. Now that I got work off of my back, I have less work. I still work, but I'm more like an asset manager, property manager. I just manage my money and assets and move them around. I'm still working, but I have less work, less need to work, and I can spend more time developing my personality, being introspective, reading, studying, working on my mind, my body. Another thing I'm doing is I'm going back and I'm going to the 10-year-old me and I'm saying, hey, remember all those ideas or creativity and imagination that you had? We're going to bring those back, because a lot of the things that you were doing, little Joey, before, you were on the right path. And I found out so many times through life that when I do these weird paths that I think were going to work, now that I'm old and I can really do them, they work. Let me explain something. So when I was younger, I used to play with language a lot. The ABCs, American ABCs, alphabet. I wanted to change it. I wanted to make a secret language. That just was cool in me. Also, when I was 10 years old, I used to watch Chinese kung fu movies. I don't know, I just thought it was cool, and I thought if I watched these soap operas, I would like absorb the language, and then I would have the secret language. I used to play Mario Brothers, Nintendo, play the video game, and I had a camcorder. Camcorders had just come out. Thank God my parents got some weird thing like a camcorder, and I got to play with it because my brain loved it. I set it up, I'd play Mario, and I record myself kind of like I'm doing now. So me making videos like this is nothing new. Playing around with audio-visual equipment is nothing new. And as I got older, some of these things got covered up. I had the necessities of work and school. Then I took a couple chances. I went to the airport. I had always loved flying. We went to go see the Blue Angels, the Navy aerobatics team. I always loved flying. And then when I was 19 years old, I went to the airport. I was terrified. I thought they were going to tell me I can't fly, I have classes. And when I walked in the door, they told me, yeah, why can't you fly? Why not? My whole world was shaken, and it started the ball rolling. Where I was going in the direction of covering up, that stopped that, because I saw something that I thought was so impossible was possible. The next thing that happened was after I got my commercial pilot license, I'm like, I'm going to Taiwan. I'm quitting my job and I'm going to Taiwan. I was the first one in the family to go travel overseas like that, go to another country where they don't speak English. And why Chinese? Everyone said Chinese is a useless language. No one uses it. Why don't you learn Spanish? We live in America. Totally great decision. I can speak with 1 billion more people now. And the experience of learning a foreign language and traveling just changed me forever. I learned about confidence. I learned about my brain. I got to learn so many things about myself, the world, and it really got the ball rolling now. Now I'm starting to think, hey, when I was little, I had this crazy idea to watch Kung Fu movies. Now I did it and my life got a lot better. So I was right back then when I was 10, but nobody believed me. Everyone thought this 10-year-old had these crazy ideas. Time kept going on, and now I just keep poking at the bag. Keep looking for a wet spot to get out of the bag. Go to school, finish school. I decided to go overseas again. I start teaching English. By the time I taught English when I was 28 years old overseas, I already had gotten my flight instructor certificate, a degree in psychology. I had learned a foreign language. So I had a pretty good amount of experience learning, and after teaching English, also teaching. And I thought that this school was not teaching in the best way. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. That was actually a blessing, because that was the final straw where I'm like, you know what? I want to learn. I want to have my own school. I want to teach my own way, because I don't want to teach someone else's way. That got me into reading about small business, which got me into reading about stocks, bonds, foreign exchange, gold, silver, and then finally the one that got me financially free was real estate. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Read that book by Robert Kiyosaki. That was the one that did it, and I finally got work off my back. Now that I have work off my back, I don't need to work so much. Now I can really just open up fully, 100%. That's pretty much all I do all day, other than managing my money and planning, reading about money and taxes and stuff like that. I spend all the rest of the time focusing on what got covered up from when I was younger, because we're going to go back and we're going to appreciate and respect my brain and those early ideas that I had, the creativity, the imagination, the passion that I had when I was younger. We're going back and we're going to bring that back. I haven't even gotten started with the ideas and the things I would like to share with the world. I'm still a beginner property investor. I don't have the net worth, the resources to share as much. So that's why I'm just using this $500 phone and basic equipment. But I'm going back and I want to bring back that passion, bring back that imagination. And that's why I'm so passionate about financial education. Me living this way, I'm better for you. I get to share more, make life maybe better for you, share information with you. People taught me how to retire and become financially free. So the least I can do is share it with other people. Thank you to them, and so I'm going to share it with other people. But if you can be financially free, what could I benefit from you? What could the world benefit from you? What imagination, creativity, and ideas were covered up just from growing up? So please read, look into more financial education, rental real estate, and think about what got covered up when you were younger and what you could be sharing with us that you're not. From Maribor, Slovenia, good night.